Here I am over at my other shop. It's March 30th or very close to April 1st. I haven't had both my little bikes out running. This is a 1985 gyro, which I rebuilt. It's all stock. The tires are low on it due to the air pressure changes over the winter. And on this model year, what I plan to do is to take the tires and the wheels off and balance them with my balancer. Same with my 2013 Zuma. Now this, I believe, is the first year Zuma was made as a 4-stroke. I went in originally and had the money to buy the 2-stroke, but they added a $300 build charge and licensing charge and all this other bullshit, and I didn't have the money. So this is a tip of the day. When you walk into any motorcycle dealership, do not ask them the price of the bike. They'll tell you the price of the bike, but they won't tell you the add-ons. You ask them specifically, what is the out the door price? That's with all the extras and everything else. Now on my little gyro here, since it's so old, I mean, this is so old, the original key was orange. I don't know if you remember the original keys back then, but this has been a great little bike. I get chased by the cops all the time because the cops have never seen this. The bike's probably older than the cop. This is a 1985 Honda Gyro 3-wheeler. It was sold for, I believe, 1985 and 86 in the United States, but nobody wanted them, so they stopped selling them. And so I bought this one. And to tell you the honest truth, I took off this back cover right here. This is where the air intake is for a little tiny foam insert air filter. Okay, this bike was used in an old farm on long farm roads that had a lot of dust. Well, dust got in and filled this up because it's so small, and the guy never even bothered to take it apart and clean it. It just wouldn't run right, so he put it in his garage or his barn and left it there for years until he took it down to the Honda shop 20 years later and wanted to sell it. So I essentially got me a bike with 1,200 miles. All I had to do was clean the air filter, and of course I spent all winter taking all the parts off and redoing them and all the wheels and everything. But it's just been a really neat little bike. I think the bike was $600 or $700. The decals alone were $100. I'm glad they made them. Honda doesn't make any of this anymore. The only thing Honda makes for this, I think, is probably the spark plug. The one thing I wish they did make is some of the springs for the front shocks, but they don't make any of that anymore either. And it doesn't do you any good to go buy OEM equipment that's used, because you're still getting 30-year-old stuff. But I like all the original chrome on it, and this was designed in Japan, so you can see it's got little tiny handles. These are for Japanese hands. The weird part about this bike is that this Honda Gyro was made completely in Japan. There is not one bit of Japanese writing on any of it. It's all in English. Every bit of it. There's no... They like, we make it for the English market, and that's the way it is. It's got the original chrome around it. I think I had this when it was 1,200 miles. This is a Nippon Seikei speedometer. Okay, Nippon Seikei is Ferrari at the time. This wasn't your bargain basement type of thing. So I'm going to put a little bit of starter fluid in and see if I can get it restarted. And what it's been doing is, in the transmission down here, it takes oil for a high-low transmission. It doesn't have any belts in it. I don't know exactly how it works, but that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go put the cameras away. I've already started up the Zuma. I just put on new tabs, which cost $55, which is a rip-off. It's supposed to be $30. This one, I got new tabs on it. These are the tabs right here. It's these little colored things. I'll get cops, and they will pull up right behind me thinking, oh, we got some kid who's bought this at a auto parts store as a toy, and he's out here on the streets, and I'm going to nail his ass to a cross. And then they go through and they read the license plate, and they read everything and find out that it's all legit, and then they just go away. Anyway, these are my two other bikes right here. The 2013 Zuma, which is completely stock. It will be completely stock. I really like it. And I have a completely stock Honda Gyro 1985. I could buy another one, but the thing is to find all of these original decals and hubcaps and different parts. It's a challenge because they don't make them anymore. And then of course, here is the piece de la resistance. That's French for cock of the walk. And this is a Repsol R50, which that motor will go into. And as it gets warmer, it's still, this is what it is here. It's still 50 degrees, and that's just too cold for this old man. But I got my nice stereo set up here, which I use in the summer. And I'm going to take all this apart and redo it. I have all the pieces that I want, except for one piece. This is a broken piece right here. This is the piece I was looking for from a friend of mine. As you can see, it's broken right here. It's just broken from old age. But this piece, they don't sell anymore. In this box right here, this Honda box, is a brand new lid, and this part, and a basement, and everything. But they don't sell that one part, and that's the one I was looking for. But I'll get it one of these days. Today I have a few things coming in from Bike Bandit that will be the end of my parts that I'll need for this. And then I'll start to build. And I'll have probably 2 months to build before it gets too hot. And then it's just, it's not fun to drive because it's too hot and people don't out there driving. So, oh, I'm also waiting for I'll get the tabs on this, but that'll come in June. See where it says June right there? In the United States, they'll send you a little notice in April and tell you you've got to get new tabs. And the cops will come after you like white on rice if you have any kind of tab problem. As far as scooter tuning in America, in the continental United States, compared to Europe, cops could not care less about a scooter. We've got Dodge Vipers with 800 horsepower. We have Demon Challengers and huge trucks, and Ford Predator, 500 horsepower trucks. They couldn't give a damn about these little things. But in Europe, I guess, if you have too much mud on them, they'll pull you over and put you in prison. Okay, I'm going to get these started, and we have a nice day out, and I'm trying to stay calm. Rock on, DIOSpeedDEMON.